everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela here. I hope you're having a great festive holiday. If you're celebrating Christmas, I hope that you've had a great day. I think some people still are. I know for me it's still Christmas here, but by the time I post this video, which will be in a couple of hours, I think it'll just be sort of west of the UK that will be still celebrating Christmas. But either way, I hope you have had a fabulous day, even if it's just a holiday and a break. Right, today I want to work with some baking paper, and I mentioned that I was thinking of using some baking paper in a project. So that is what I'm going to try and do today. I've seen a number of people use baking paper, well, not recently, but for many things. I've never tried it, and I wanted to make a project with it today, so that is what I have done. So what I have got here is a piece of baking paper that I have trimmed off a roll. So what I've done is I've made it 12 inches in width. That equates to 30 centimeters. And in this width-wise, I have measured out 16 inches, which is 40 centimeters that way. And all I have done is I've folded the paper in half, so we have 6 inches in width, and we still have our 16 inches, and then I am just folding that again in half like that. And you can just take your bone folder, let me just grab mine, and just make sure that you have these edges nice and, you know, defined. That's the word I'm thinking of. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this again in half like that, and I'm going to do the same on the back as well. So what we will have here, let's just get that there. Right, so what we will have here is a little 4-fold booklet thing that I want to add into my little journal. Alright, so we're going to decorate this up, and as you know, I have been working away my scraps, and I really have been working away my scraps. My personal challenge is not to print anything, use what I have, especially in the scrap piles. So the scrap pages that I can't use, that I've taken pieces out of, but they're quite big, or the small scraps, or the little fabric scraps, just any of that stuff, it's got to be worked away. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just sew around the edges here. Now, what you could do is, if you had it this way, you could leave some of these open to make pockets at the top. I'm not going to do that on this occasion because I want to use this in one of my journals as a sort of piece of ephemera. But you could easily take, I'm just grabbing one of these tags, which is not for this project. You could easily leave one of these open at the top here to have a tag sticking out the top there as well, if you wanted to make this as a little journal booklet or something like that, separate from a journal. But I am mindful of how much will go into this so that we don't make it too bulky, because I do tend to want to do that. I never know when to stop. Alright, so all I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to sew right around the perimeters here and make sure that this is going to stay in place. Alright, so I will see you quite shortly after the break. Okay, so we're back, and as you can see, I have just stitched right around the perimeter here, and that is it. And that's just going to give it a little bit of, you know, just keep it together. So that's what I've done there. So now we can just fold it back up again, and like that. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, and this shouldn't take too long. I've put in a few little bits and pieces together just to make it a little bit more exciting. So just bear with me as we go. So the first page I've just I've distressed around each of these, and I have stitched around each of these, as you can see. So you can see that, and I'm going to stick that on the front there. But what I have done is I've taken a little piece of another scrap here, like that. Just show you quickly what I've done. I've got a little piece, I've folded it in half like that, so the width of this is 5 inches or 13 centimeters, and obviously this is just depends on the scrap sizes you have. You've got 8.5 centimeters here, or almost 3.5 inches wide, and so I just doubled that up just to give me a place to put some acetate in. And then what I've done is I've got 2 pieces of acetate here, and I'm going to just stick these in here. So let's just move that to the side quickly, open that up, and then I'm going to just put some glue, and I have lost the pin. Let's just take this pin out of here for the moment. It's somewhere on my desk, you know, this happens to me a lot, so we'll just use that one for the moment until I find my other one. Right, so I'm just going to put some glue around the edge here, like this, just so that I can lay down that first piece of acetate, which is also scraps lying about here. And that's, oops, we don't want it that way. So you don't want to, right. Okay, so that's the one I'm going to put down there. I've just taken one of my shapes, die cuts, and stuck that on. Then I found my butterfly lying in here, and I have double-sided stuck it together like that. And I'm just going to put a little dab of glue in the middle here. This will be pretty much sandwiched together. So we'll just put it like that, just to keep it in place while I'm doing the top bit. And just want to make sure this time I've got it the right way around. I think I do. I think that's the wrong way around. Oh, that seems right. Okay. And then I'm going to just put some more glue just around the edges here of this piece, and then I can just stick down the acetate on top. Alright, so we've got that little window in place, and now we can just put some glue on the top of the window. Now when you cut out your shape, cut it with both sides together. That way you're ensured that you're going to have a match when you put them together. That's the good thing about, there's some glue oozing through, but it does dry clear, so I'm not going to worry myself. It does marry up perfectly, as you can see. That's the great thing when you have a fold line there. Now what I will do quickly is just stitch around this edge here, just to finish that off and make sure. Of course you don't have to. This is the fold line that I'm going to tuck underneath like this. So you know, I'm not worried about that piece particularly, but I do want to just finish off that little area there. So let's do that ever so quickly. Okay, so beside my glue, which needs to dry, you can see I have stitched around there and just around the perimeter there. So what I'm going to do here is, I've got this flap lifting up there. I'm going to stick this over there. I just want to put some just on the edge here so this flap doesn't come up, and then I'm going to just stick it on the edge here like that, and just make sure that I can fold that flat like that before I go and stick it down onto the page itself. Alright, so now we can go and stick this down onto our first little page. There we go. Right, so get that where I want it. Okay. I've been a bit in the wars today with my fingers. Oh my gosh, I broke this nail right off in the wick. It's so sore. And it wasn't good when I was washing the dishes. And of course, I burnt this finger over here twice on the oven. So I'm having a bit of a difficult day, challenging day today in the kitchen. I was just rushing so much, trying to get everything done so that everybody could eat lunch by 1 o'clock. And I did exactly that. I think 1:15. I wasn't far off, because obviously my children meet up with their partners, because, you know, that's where they live. Except my daughter, of course. Right, so we've got our first one on there. I'm quite liking that. It's staying pretty flat at the moment, so I am quite happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to just turn that over now. Let's have it open. And we're going to do the second one. So, let me just get the little second one here. What I've done with the second one is just, again, scrap paper, taken a little piece of extra scrap, and I have just stitched a little pocket in there. So that's what we've done over there. So I just want to stick that one in the middle like that. Okay, so we're going to have a little go at that. And I love the sound of this baking paper and how it crackles. So yeah, it's going to make a lovely addition to the journal. Right. This Christmas has been quite strange. And I'm sure everybody feels the same way, but it was nice to see my son today, because, as I said, he has his own life and home. I see my son most days, but, you know, I wouldn't have liked to have not had him over for Christmas, which I thought was going to be the case, but luckily, you know, we're a small bubble. Right, so that one's going to have a little tag that I've just laid up with all the scraps and bits and pieces in my scrap box, and trying to keep these little decorative bits on the tags as flat as possible, so I haven't done a bow there. Alright, so I'm going to just tuck that one in there like that. Right, so we're going to do the next one now. Now with this one, I'm going to leave this piece open so I can actually make this a pocket. So I'm going to stick that one down there. I didn't want to stick anything over this because it's so pretty. So that's what I thought I would do with that one. So I'm going to turn that over and hold it on the side. I don't want to glue down. And then I'm going to just stick some glue around the edges here. So that's what we're going to do with this one. And again, I have stitched the edge and distressed it just to save time for the filming and everything. Right, so let's grip this one here. That looks about right. There we go. So we've got that one in place. I hope Father Christmas brought you something nice if you celebrate Christmas. You can see I have decal edged the pages that go in. I was very lucky and spoilt myself and bought myself a Tim Holtz decal edge trimmer, which is really lovely. So easy. It's like a little guillotine and it's just really lovely. So I do recommend that. Right, we've got our opening over here. And then again, I've just taken one of my little pieces of ephemera that was left over. I've just stuck on a little tab at the top, put some ribbon bits in there. So again, scraps. It's backed onto recycled packaging there, so it's all easy. It's my dog making and having a little stretch there, Abby. Okay, so we're coming along nicely there, and then I'm going to open this up over here. And that's going to be our front page, if I'm correct. So I'll do that bit last. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and we're going to do this one now over here. So I've tried to keep it all together with my paper clips So what I've got is another scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to move that over a bit there, and I'm going to stick this down over here like that. Yeah, so let's get that glued down. Now that I've packed up everybody with, you know, food and everything, sent the kids off with food, I'm going to be eating Christmas dinner, I think, for the next 4 days, which is great because I don't have to cook and I can craft more, so I'm not moaning about that. I quite like the leftovers from Christmas, so, and I haven't had any pudding yet. It was just too much. You know what it's like when you're cooking the dinner yourself. Although my daughter did help me and we were very good. We did prepare everything from scratch the night before. So it was just a case of scheduling the oven times, which I did. So that was nice and easy. Right, this here is, I'm going to, no I'm not, just a little belly band I wanted to put onto there. Again, little scraps all over. I've just made a little circle and had a fussy cut of a flower that I've cut out and put it onto another scrap piece of paper, which I have stuck the circle onto this band to make a pretty belly band like that. So just going to glue that at the top like that, and again at the bottom like that. All right, you can use double-sided tape for that. This it does work really well, but I think I mean, you can't go wrong with this art glitter glue. Abby's having a nice stretch. She's had her a good treat today with her Christmas dinner, because she's passed out now. It's very full, bless her. Right, so I've made a little envelope here, and I just want to, I think, grab my Distress Oxide, I think, just a little bit, and I'm going to just give that a little bit of a distress, just so that we don't have the stark white, which I'm not a fan of. So just put a little bit of distress ink on the edge there, like that. Okay, so again, it's a little scrap of paper that I had in my scrap box, and I've made a 3" by 3.5" envelope on my envelope maker, the We Are Memories one. Alright, so that's just going to go in over there like that. So that's all I've decided to put in there at this point. Alright, so we'll get on to the next one. We're doing really well here now. So what I decided to do here was, again, I've got another scrap piece of paper, and I've sewn onto this piece as a pocket, and then another scrap piece that's going to go at the back here like that. All right, now with your scraps, people say, oh, my scraps all match, whatever. The kind of colors that I use are pretty much a lot of pastels. So depending on whatever you use, you'll probably have similar colors in yours. And the best way to make everything work together is to put them into colors and decide what it is that you're going to use. So for me, I've decided, right, I'm going to use the pinks, the aquas, you know, the purples and things, but I'm going to choose floral or whatever, and then they all sort of work together. So that's my suggestion there. Just choose, have a look at what you've got and go with a specific color theme, and you can't go wrong then. You know, you just can't. So that's my suggestion to you on that front. Put them in color bundles. Here I've just taken 2 of these that I had, put them onto recycled packaging again. I've just put in little scraps of fabric there, you know, and these are tiny scraps, they just add to it. And I'm going to just put those 2 in there, sticking with my pink and blue and aqua themes. You can see it's all looking all right together. All right, so we're on to the third one now. this is this one, and I was going to do a little side pocket here, so just grabbing the bits that I had. So I've got just a little triangle that I had, and I'm going to stick that down there. Alright, so that's what we're going to do on that one. And again, I think this is from my Porch Prince Wildflowers, if I'm correct. I do love those kits. I mean, I've used completely different kits here, but the colours are similar, so it will all pull together in the end. Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to list all the things. I can't remember half the stuff, but you know, it's what I end up throwing in my box as I'm creating. And yeah, so that's one we're going to have there like that. And then this one, I'm not going to put any glue there, just putting glue on these two sides just to make a little triangular pocket. Like that. And we'll put that slightly up, just like that. Okay, I'll let that one dry quickly. I suppose it doesn't matter. And then again, using just a few bits of lace and fabric, I've just stitched that onto recycled packaging again. And that will go in there like that, and then I've just made a smaller one with some more pieces that I had, and I'm going to just put that in there like that. And then we're on to the second last one before the front, and okay, so again we've got a pocket, a page like that I'm going to stick on there. But before I do that, I have taken another piece of paper like this, just folded it in half, made a little bit of a lip. So let me just give you some measurements, more or less. So we're looking at 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters, I think it is. Yeah, and this way is 9 centimeters, so 3.5 inches, and obviously you want double that over there. So all I'm going to do now is I've got a little flap as well, so when you join it up, I've got about a 1/2 inch flap there, or 1.5 centimeters. That bit I'm going to tuck underneath here like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do quickly, I'm just going to stitch that along there ever so quickly and leave that opening at the top. Alright, so let me go and do that quickly. Alright, so there you can see I've just stitched around the 3 sides like that. We've got this little piece still, this little flap here, and that's going to, again, we'll stick that to the page first. So I will get that lined up nicely like that, and we'll just put it on the end here. Just leaving a little bit of an edge just to make sure it's going to lie flat before I stick that down. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that, I think. Yeah, let's just go like this. Okay, and then now we can stick that one down like that. So we can do that. So we've got a little flip out here, which is quite cute. I'll just go right on the edge here as well. Okie dokie. Right, so we'll get that there. Right. Okay. Right, and then what I did was I've got some of these stamps. I think these were from Calico Collage, Grandma's Garden. I do love these. I'm going to make this into a little pocket, just like that. 3 sides, and I'm going to stick that just across the base there like that. Okay, and then I've got a tiny little tag here, which I haven't put any thread or anything into, but I'm sure I can find something in here. That would work. Look, I'm looking for, look at the kind of scraps I'm pulling out, but you know, I do want to whittle these away, and there are some gorgeous bits and pieces in there, so you know, why would you want to throw it all away? If I did, I'd have a clean area and a clean slate, but you know, you're always looking for scraps when you're making stuff. I always do. So you know, you don't want to go and print out things and then just use a little piece of it when you have these opportunities. That's what scraps are to me. You know, all right there. And sometimes when I look at the scraps, they inspire me. So there's another one of those little stamps. I'm going to just put that in there, and I'm going to just put this one over there like that. So we've got that there, and then again a little craft one that I cut out again with some scraps and that beautiful iris, and I'm going to just try and find the opening to this. I suppose I could put one of those thumb notch things in, but why bother? Right, so we've got a nice flip out over there with a beautiful image. We've got these 2 tags here, more tags there, a little belly band over here, and this should all fold up really nicely like that. So let's just have a look. Like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, and this one's got the tag over here, and then we've just got our front page to do, and that's not really very thick. All right, so that's great. Now listen to Abby making a lot of noise, very lazy there, all 4 paws stuck out straight. Right, so what I'm going to do here now is I've got another piece like this, which I'm going to stick on the front. I think it's going to be easier to do it like this. And there's this. Let's just take this out quickly. Right, so we'll stick this bit down like this. I don't know what my machine was doing, making knots over there, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to see. Every now and then it does that. We get a few knots. Okay, so let's just get that stuck on like that. There we go. Right, and now what I did was just had a few bits and pieces that I pulled out that I want to layer up here. So again, all the scraps and I've sort of something like that, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Right, so I've got this piece here, so I'm going to just put that on first like that. I'm going to have that up at the sort of top end of that there, then on this side, and I might just do that on that bit because it's quite a pale piece, and then we're going to just put some glue and get that sort of on this side like that. And then I thought I'd bring in some turquoise because I found some turquoise sort of blue in there, so we just get a bit of that on. Yeah, and then this last bit was just wanted a little bit of font just to change it up a bit. So we've got that, and I'm going to layer that, I think, down there. There we go. So that one will go sort of at the bottom like that. Right, and then what I did was I have found this little teacup that I found. Was part of a calico collage. I think this could be spring blush, I'm not sure, something like that, and Not worried that it'll stick over a bit. I quite like that, so I'm going to put that on there. But I also was rummaging through some of my die cuts and I found a couple that would sort of match, so I'm going to get those underneath there. So let's just see how I want to do that quickly. I'm not 100% sure. I am winging it here. Something like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that over there like that. And then I was going to stick on a little butterfly over here. Okay, so let's just see. First of all, that one will go on the top. Yeah, we'll start with the blue. Right, I'll probably see how we go here quickly. Right, so I'm going to just stick this over here. I hope I've got this all where I intended. You know, we'll just live and learn. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stick that down. Quite like this little floral explosion in a teacup. And I thought today is the day I'm going to use these things up, because you know, you just collect loads and loads of stuff. I don't know about you, and I will do a video at some point on how I store and use all of these if you guys are interested. People have asked me that before quite a few times, so yeah, I do have a little method and I'll show you how I do that. Right, so we're coming to the end. Let's just take a little bit of this ink and dust off the pink butterfly. It's that time of the year. I can use my butterflies again. So I'm really excited about that. Let's just do that, and I'm not going to do it all the way. So we're just going to put it on the teacup here. And I want to put some dimensional stuff on the end of it. So let's just try and do that. Hang on a minute. Get a little pearl. So let's just put a little dot there. And let's just get one of these pearls. Okay. And the other thing I wanted, I think I won't get the dimensional tape. Right, let's have a little run through now and see how we are going with this. So of course we want to put our little envelope back in here, so that's fine. We've got our little bits there. You can always decorate this up even more, and I might go and add little bits there off camera, but so far this is the basis of it. I might just add bits and bobs, but of course I'm trying to keep it flat, so I'm not trying to encourage myself to do that too much. So that's all looking great. That side, and then on this side, turn it over. That's all looking great. We've got our little tag at the top there. So everything's got a little bit of something on each panel, which is quite nice, and then it just folds up really cutely like that. Okay, not too bad at all. Right, just had this piece of seam binding, which I thought I could use, and just going to tie it around the middle like that. And if I can grip it, oops, let's just make it a bit higher, and we can just go in between the leaves there. And there we go. So we've got it like that and like that, and we can cut that off, and we can cut that off there. So another scrap for the bundle, and there we have it. So there we go, ladies. I hope that you've enjoyed making that. We've got another little booklet that we can put inside our journal, and I probably would put this inside my journal, inside a little pocket inside there. So it's just another little bit. You can add little pieces of paper to write in, tuck it away. You can do lots with this, so the choices are up to you. But that's using grease paper. Listen to it. I'm loving that. All right, so there's another little project that we have worked away, just a few more of those little scraps. So I do hope that you've enjoyed that. It was fun to do, and I'm really liking how it's turned out. Really from stuff that I would have otherwise thrown away for the most part, because there was nothing that I could really use it on other than something like this kind of a project. And you can layer up everything here as well. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and take it easy. Don't overdo it. Stay safe, and thank you so much. I will see you before, I will probably do one more video before the end of 2020, so it'll probably be on Wednesday. So let me think. Yeah, I hope to do one before the end of the year. So I look forward to seeing you guys then in the very next video. So stay safe, guys, and thank you guys ever so much. Bye bye.